well, nothing to league leaders Chelsea. A win today with their game in hand, Manchester United, will put them level on points, but a fair distance back on goal difference going into the final round of fixtures ahead of the post-season playoffs in PL2. So that should be absolutely brilliant if Manchester United can manage that to close the gap to league leaders Chelsea. Ben Thornley, former Manchester United Academy, alongside me for this one, member of the class of '92 as well. Ben, this is a lovely place to watch football, first and foremost, but it's got a little bit riding on it today for Manchester United.
Yeah, it has. They've got a couple of games left, and obviously they want to try and close the gap to go level on points with Chelsea. Okay, it's going to be a bit of a jump for them to win the game 10-0 to actually overtake them, but certainly to go level on points going into the last remaining fixtures next week will be very interesting.
One of the things that we are going to be looking out for with Leeds is whether it is a 4 at the back, which we think it will be, or whether it might potentially be a 3, because a couple of little sources elsewhere telling us that potentially Leeds might play 3 at the back. They haven't really done that all season long, and more likely we think to be a 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be a 4. They've never deviated really from a back 4 all season. Yes, what goes on in front might be they might have chopped and changed with it a little bit, but it's very often a back 4 with Leeds.
She'll wait and see exactly how they line up once the game gets underway. In terms of Manchester United, well, it's a really strong team, isn't it? Both Fletcher twins in the heart of midfield. Chido Obi leading the line, but the name that jumped out at us, we haven't seen him for a little while, Shea Lacey playing off the right for Manchester United, and we've seen just how capable he can be when he's in creative mood, not only to find the goal himself, but also to set others up. Yeah,
he's a player that makes things happen. He's really exciting to watch, very diminutive, really good on the ball, clever dribbling skills, and somebody that in a tight fixture, as we're expecting this to be because of the rivalry, could be the difference.
Shea Lacey at the back of the queue of Manchester United players that are walking out into the middle for their high fives and handshakes between Leeds, the officials, and Manchester United. Look, the Reds are absolutely flying high at the top of the PL2 table. They've been brilliant all season long. They've got a couple of huge games coming up now. This one, obviously, today to see whether they can close the gap to Chelsea, and then a massive game on Tuesday against Real Madrid in the Premier League International Cup.
They've had a great season. We always say, don't we, that it is one of the most difficult teams to manage in the club because of the number of ins and outs. It's that sort of age group where people are going to go out on loan. But I tell you what, they've had a fabulous season. They've been great to watch. And not only that, but they've taken part in other competitions, and one of those they're still in. With a mouth-watering game at Old Trafford on Tuesday night against Real Madrid.
Certainly the case. When you look through this team, there's plenty that have been out on loan already this season, including the likes of Sonny Al Joffrey, who's playing at centre-back, Louis Jackson, who's had a different right-back role for him today. They've both been out on loan and had a bit of time elsewhere this season, so they're bringing that experience back, and United have obviously got a load of players out until the end of the season on loan as well. So hopefully they can bring that experience back to the football club when they return over the summer. In terms of Leeds, well, not necessarily been the season that they wanted, and Ben, most of that has come from they're struggling to score goals. Their top scorer this season has only bagged 5 over the course of the campaign, so they're sort of languishing down in 24th. I'm not quite sure that really tells the tale of how talented this group of Leeds players are.
No, they are. They always produce some extremely good youngsters, and they'll probably be disappointed with their campaign. But this is a fixture at any level that both sides look forward to, you know, a war of the roses, if you like. And yeah, well, I mean, the evidence will be right in front of us when the game kicks off momentarily.
Alex Cairns and Will Murdoch now having to do a 100-metre dash from one end of the field to the other after everybody's been turned around, and we're going to go the opposite direction at the beginning of the first half. Adam Lawrence watching on from the Manchester United dugout, and I have noticed that Academy Director Stephen Torpey is down on the touchline as well, so he's keeping an eye on the under-21s as we go through this afternoon. Hopefully Manchester United can start the game as brightly as we've seen them start the game over the course of this season. It will be Leeds to get us underway, and Ollie Pickles standing over the ball. I think everybody's ready to go. Everybody except the officials, potentially. And we are underway at Thorpe Arch Grange. Manchester United taking on Leeds United in a A game that could send Manchester United joint top of the PL2 table. This is a quick break from Morehouse. Musa. Musa does lift the crossing towards the back post. He was lurking. It's well claimed by Cairns.
That's a positive start. What I will say is that fullback never gets anywhere close to Victor Musa and allows him all the time in the world to be able to float that crossover.
It was a rapid break, wasn't it, from Morehouse? Obi again. Well, we've seen this in recent weeks from Chido Obi, where he relentlessly closes down. Something has obviously twigged in the Dane's brain, because he causes problems now for 90 minutes, closing down up the top, and he forces so many errors, Ben.
Yeah, he does. He does. Having said that, the last time we saw him do that, he was unable to continue, so we're glad that he's managed to avoid that. It was a freak accident, obviously, but it just shows his willingness to go and put the goalkeeper and the back four under pressure.
Yeah, head injury in the game against Chelsea that forced him off. A game that Manchester United went on to lose, but they'd also lost Sonny Al-Joffrey, the centre-back, midway through that game for the same reason, actually. When you lose two of your biggest players, it always becomes a little tricky against a side who are top of the table like Chelsea, as Obi is wrestled off the ball. Jaden Lino. Now Joffrey comes across to Fredriksson, wearing the armband today. A couple of first-team appearances this season for Tyler Fredriksson. Potentially would have been more as well had Manchester United been fighting on more fronts than just the Premier League.
I agree.
Well, the position that Manchester United's first team are in now, going into the closing stages of the season, would suggest that next year has the potential for European football. Not quite willing to commit myself to that just yet, but they're in a really good spot. Vincent pulls the ball backwards, drilled forwards. Honky, who has been excellent for 21s and 18s alike this season. He's in for Diego Leon. Paraguayan not featuring today. I think we're both in agreement as well that Kokonki's ability to play through the middle and out wide on this left-hand side is one of his biggest strengths. Gets to use that height when he plays in the middle, but he gets to use the pace that he's got when he's out wide on the left end.
Yeah, I think he's a real weapon for United when he plays in this full-back area, because of his ability to be able to open those legs and go on long rampaging runs. And for such a sort of robust individual, he's got some sparkling toes as well at times.
Shea Lacey penalised for the foul on the far side of the field. Wind is blowing a hoolie
yes.
at Thorpe Arch Grange. You can hear it across the effects microphones, and you can see it in the trees on the far side of the ground.
Well, you can see it with some of the passes that have already gone through the air as well. That one from Kokonki that he knocked forward just drifted over the touchline.
Yeah, that's gone a long way from the goalkeeper as well before it stalls in the wind. Howard having to make certain of that, back to Cairns. Musa closing down. Lane, it's the ball infield. Fletcher closing down. It's a loose touch from Kokonki. Allows Chambers to run. Philpott infield to Chadwick. Was asking a lot there to chase that down, but Pickles has done well. Down the line to Lane. Jacob Howard. Leeds play them out a played themselves out of trouble, but the pressure from Manchester United forcing them back inside their own half will be something that pleases Adam Lawrence, the league coach. Kokonki just loses that one in the air. Vincent, good cross. Header comes back across goal, and Leeds will think that they probably should have done better with that opportunity as it was whipped in. It was an unmarked header at the back post, wide of Will Murdoch's goal.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Just couldn't get the direction on the header.
Another ball in is held by Murdoch at the second time of asking. Leeds just showing that they are capable of causing problems, getting down the sides, and United are going to have to be aware of that.
Yeah. And now that the game has settled down a little bit, I'm not so sure whether Leeds are playing a back three, Liam, with Linu, Creswell and Howard.
Take a look as we go through this. One of those that changes in possession and out of possession potentially.
Yes, I think it will be.
Howard. Back to Kens, and again, that Manchester United pressure in the centre of the field. Well, Joffrey does very well against Chambers. And Murdoch, wind assisted, sends the ball coast to coast.
And it is wind assisted.
Musa gets after this one. Swept away by Leeds. Picked up by Fletcher.
Late.
Yeah, it is late on Fletcher. The referee's going to allow play to continue. Not sure the referee saw it. Morehouse turns into space. Lacey dances away from a couple of tackles, Shea Lacey. Chambers breaking. Leeds in a good position here. Manchester United having to get back in. Well, Joffrey goes over, makes the intercepting tackle, comes off him and behind for a corner.
Yeah, he just overran it, didn't he, at the last second? It was a decent run from Chambers down that left-hand side. It was just this touch here that allowed Tyler Fredrickson to get across and make the challenge. Sorry, it wasn't Tyler Fredrickson, it was Sonny Al Joffrey.
Corner is met by Louis Jackson. Back in it comes, though. Dangerous one, this. Just wide of the mark. Well, Manchester United were scrambling, and that's the second time that Leeds have managed to get a header in, and the second time that it's been wide of the mark.
Yeah, and I think that this was a much better opportunity. He just dinked it up to the sort of towards the far corner, on level with the line of the far post. And I don't think that was a particularly difficult header.
United coming through midfield. Fletcher to Musa. Musa's going to give this back to Tyler Fletcher. Under a little bit of pressure. It's good work. Under pressure to get that ball away. Jackson to Lacey. Lacey taking on Philpott. Brought to the ground. Ooh. And the free kick has been given.
I didn't think the assistant was going to give that.
Took his time, didn't he?
And that's what Shea Lacey can give you. There's a lovely bit of interplay through the centre of the park to create that opportunity for an attack. And then when the ball comes here, Philpott doesn't know which way Shea Lacey's going. And he has a wild swing. And quite rightly, it was a free kick.
It's in a really good spot too. Now, Fletcher twins. Left-footed in swinger.
I'd be shooting from here. That's exactly what I was about to say. With the wind the way that it is, it's not typically a shot from there, but if you're whipping it and aiming for that far corner, it could bamboozle the goalkeeper if nobody gets a touch.
I wonder whether maybe get a flick on at the near post as well. That is what happens,
Yeah.
and it is just wide of the mark. It comes off. Chadwick in the end, who just about gets enough on it to clear it through the penalty area.
Exactly the right thing from Fletcher. And although it was cleared, I'm not quite sure he was hopeful that it wasn't going to nestle in the far corner, but he did enough to produce a corner for United. Manchester, that is.
There's only one United, Ben. Slid out.
I completely agree, but I'm just clarifying.
No, that's understandable, and I was just being facetious.
No, it's not like you. When it comes to me.
Somebody else being facetious. Murdoch.
There's the evidence of that.
Yeah, wind.
Very strong wind that United have up their backs.
Easier to play into or with?
Do you know what? It's really difficult to assess that. I mean, you do have to be more measured when you're playing with it behind you because of things like that. It just carries. You just have to be a little bit more accurate and perhaps play more to feet rather than balls in the air is a lot easier.
Well, I think Leeds United won the toss and requested the
They did.
kick-off, which means that Manchester United turned them round. So United have chosen to go from right to left in the first half. So for whatever reason, they've decided that that might benefit them either in this half or in the second half. Maybe when you're chasing a game, to hang a ball up and have it hold up in the wind is a bit easier than chasing things down. Maybe fresh legs in the first half is what the thought process was there. Well, Joffrey to Fredrickson. Lacey. It's a bit of space, Shea Lacey. He's impeded. It's going to be another free kick.
Always looking to make things happen. Shea Lacey when he gets on the ball. That's not to say that every time he does get the ball, he has to beat a man. But certainly when he's confronted one-on-one in the final third, anywhere near the penalty box, you just leave him to it.
It's another good position, isn't it, for Manchester United? 33-year-old goalkeeper in net as well. I wonder whether the experience of Alex Cairns may well be beneficial for this young Leeds side. Lacey going to have a go straight into the arms of Cairns.
Yeah, it's not a bad ball though. It's one of those where if it does get a touch from somebody on its way through, it can wrong foot the goalkeeper.
Alex Cairns has had an astonishing career, really. Was part of the Leeds United youth setup, then went Staley Bridge, back to Leeds, Chesterfield, Rotherham, Fleetwood, Hartlepool, Salford, back to Fleetwood, back to Salford, and is now at Leeds. Obi looking to get on the end of that, but the bouncing ball is tidied up. of problems here. Lacey closing down inside the penalty area. Eventually, it is Cairns that gets it away.
Yeah, he was quite calm there. Jaden Linu was under pressure from Shea Lacey, but he just helps it back for the goalkeeper to clear it upfield.
As he does again, just to highlight Ben's point. Al Joffrey adjudged to have pushed over the Leeds United midfielder. It's one of those borderline ones for me where there's a little bit of backing in going on as well.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to protect yourself. The referee deciding that that was a shove from Al Joffrey rather than anything else. Oh, yeah, a couple of crunching tackles have gone in. Pirouette there from Freddie Lane. Fletcher doing very well. A lovely ball out to the right-hand side too. It's just the wind just keeping it away from Shea Lacey.
And that's highlighting how difficult it is when you're playing long passes like that. There was nothing wrong with that ball. It's just that the wind just pushed it ever so slightly too far in front of Shea Lacey. You have to play the conditions sometimes as well, and it's not always easy when you're trying to play 40, 50-yard balls.
Obi feels like he's being grabbed at again. The referee allowing play to carry on. And Fredrickson gets the shout of man on, decides that knocking it out of play is the best thing to do. Well, 17 minutes in, and it's two sides still wrestling for control of the game, really, Ben.
Yeah, neither side has settled into any sort of a rhythm as of yet.
Al Joffrey does well. I think he may be half thinking that Will Murdoch's coming. Doesn't in the end, and Joffrey just has to get rid of it.
Yeah. You don't want to try and risk. That's out of play, I think. You don't want to risk trying to shepherd the ball out there. So he did the right thing by conceding a throw-in.
Maybe just a little bit too far, wasn't it? To shepherd the ball out of play.
Especially with the wind holding it up as well.
Reece Chadwick's going to take the corner. Whipped in, punched away by Murdoch. Linu. It's a clever ball out to the left. Well watched by Tyler Fletcher.
Yeah, he knew which way he was going.
Big-headed clearance as well. Brought down by Pickles. Vincent, but can't get that one past Kokonki.
It's a good punch by Will Murdoch. It's a decent ball in, whipped into that near post area. Solid punch from the stopper.
Ball in behind, he's going to have to be chased down, but Murdoch's got a good starting position. Kokonki. Musa just can't get back on the end of it. It's Jack Fletcher that tried to return it to him. 1-2's just a little bit too heavy for him to reach. Well, one back by Fletcher. It's a good ball to Chido Obi. Just can't bring it under control on the edge of the area.
That's a brilliant ball from Jack Fletcher, great vision. Howard was in quickly, wasn't he, to dispossess Chido Obi.
Just the control, wasn't it, that let it run a little too far away from Obi. Jackson trying to get there. It is Tyler Fletcher that sweeps across in the end and knocks it back out of play. Chance of a break on here for Manchester United. Lovely footwork from Morehouse. That's a brilliant ball through to Shea Lacey as well. Lacey bearing down on the penalty area. Shea Lacey goes on the outside, and that is going to run out of play and will be a goal kick. I thought that maybe there had been a touch from a Leeds United defender. It's clever football from United.
Yeah, brilliant from Morehouse. Great pass to release Shea Lacey down that right-hand side. You just got to credit the defender there. He read which way he was going and he just got his body across.
Misplaced pass allows the pressure to come again from United. Good touch from Chambers to give himself some space. A sigh of exasperation from Ben Thornley alongside me. And I'm sure players feeling very similar. It was something and nothing really, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
That's late as well. The referee's going to let that go too. I can understand the frustration there. Clear contact after the ball had gone. The wind that we are experiencing at Thorpe Arch Grange is the leading edge of the most innocuously named storm I think I've ever heard, Ben.
Was it Derek or something?
No, it's Dave.
Dave. Storm Dave.
Storm Dave. That's a good ball over the top again for Lacey to chase. And that will be a Manchester United corner.
Needed to get that touch as well, didn't he?
Well, that's where Lacey is so dangerous. Can go either way, can cut inside or can go down the outside, and when he does, has the ability to create something. Right, what can Manchester United do from here? Short corner option is on if they want it. That's where they go. Whip goalwards by Fletcher. Oh, it's gone all the way through! And Fletcher opens the scoring for Manchester United. Cairns wrong-footed in the penalty area. Back of the net, and the Reds lead by a 1-0.
And there you go. And that's what happens. If you aim that ball just to drift into the far corner, it can just elude everybody, and that is exactly what's happened here. And I don't think anybody gets a touch on it, but the goalkeeper in that instance is expecting it, and before he can move and realise that nobody's getting a touch and it's going past him, it's too late and it's in the back of the net. But that is how to use this very, very strong wind to your advantage, and he did that brilliantly, Fletcher.
Well done, Jack Fletcher. Just a speculative effort more than anything else. And it ends up in the back of the net. Manchester United have the lead. Wonder whether that might have been deflected on the way through, but we've seen a couple of replays and I don't think it was, Ben.
No, I don't think anybody touched it. It was just a perfect delivery from Jack Fletcher.
Conky gives away the free kick. Again, exasperation.
He's getting a little bit pernickety, the referee, and he's doing it for both teams, to be fair. And quite a lot of the things that we've seen, he can let go, and some of the other things that we have seen, like the late tackles, for example, he hasn't. He's just ignored them.
Lacey. Good trickery from him. Good cross as well. Header from Musa is cleared away. Lacey again. Left-footed delivery from him towards the back post, but nobody there. Was looking for Chido-Obi. Just too far away from him.
Yeah. And Victor Musa was probably on that occasion was just a tad too wide. You want your opposite wide players to be coming in at the back post, but Freddie Lane had enough time to allow that to drift because he wasn't under any pressure from Musa.
Dug out by Leeds. Linu. Pickles sends it back, and now with the goalkeeper Cairns. Second appearance for the under-21s this season, Alex Cairns. Third goal that he's conceded. It's not far away from being reeled in by Chido-Obi.
I thought he was going to intercept that. He was very close to it.
Still only a youngster, Obi. He's 17, I think. Playing for the under-21s. There's a long time left before he's ineligible for this level of competition.
Yeah.
We've seen him play in the FA Youth Cup for the under-18s this season. Linu. Stolen away. Oh, and back by Fletcher. That's a good ball through to Obi as well. Obi gets the left-footed shot away, tests the goalkeeper, and Cairns gets down really well. It's low to his right foot, and he manages to pounce on it, and Leeds get it away.
Yeah, it's a good save. Really good ball from Fletcher through to Obi. Exactly where he wants it, and his first touch just takes him away from Alfie Creswell, which makes his job doubly difficult because of the physicality of Obi. It's a good save from Cairns.
It's a little bit late. Yeah, the referee has spotted that. May well be the first card of the game. It is.
Yeah. I don't think you can argue with that. Sonny Al Joffrey was just a split second too late. And I think Sam Chambers has been the one player in the Leeds United side that has tried to make things happen for them, and he was certainly away there.
Joffrey needed to make the tackle, didn't he? It's a yellow card, though, for the centre-back. Has to be a little bit careful as he goes through the rest of the game now.
Yeah.
I wonder if having Louis Jackson at right-back is that United can change things up if they were, you know, if they needed to in the second half. Bring Overy on, you can move Jackson in.
Yeah.
Conky comes back to Fredrickson, and now Al Joffrey. Jackson. Fredrickson again. Finds Kokonki. via Victor Musa. It's a clear pull of the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the referee spotted that too. Dangerous again now, isn't it, for Leeds? Last time Manchester United had a stationary ball in this kind of position, they end up scoring. Admittedly, that one was stopped from a corner by Fletcher on the opposite side of the field, but still. Another one that Leeds have got to deal with.
I was just about to say, I would probably have his brother taking this one because he favours his right foot, whereas Jack favours his left, and this is the side that you need to be putting it in from with your right foot, which is exactly what I was thinking.
Likely to be Tyler here rather than Jack. Over the top Jack goes. It is Tyler. It's a really good ball. Oh, what an opportunity that is for Manchester United. Perfect delivery. Full flush on the forehead for Al Joffrey, but over the bar.
Great ball. Another great ball from his twin brother. And Sonny Al Joffrey will be wondering how on earth he has managed to scoop that over the bar from there. It's a brilliant delivery.
Maybe stayed a little high. Lacey dispossessed in the penalty area. Just wonder whether the wind kept that slightly higher than he was anticipating, and that's why he's got underneath it slightly.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. We can only make out what we can see, and that was another terrific delivery, albeit from the other side of the field.
Obi with a lovely turn. Still going in the penalty area. It's taken away from him. Linu goes to ground very easily. And I think Jack Fletcher asking the question of the assistant on that far side, why it's a free kick. Remains unmoved, the assistant.
Well, if you are going to give a free kick away, then give it away near the corner flag.
On the opposite end of the field, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Preferably not near your own corner flag if you can help it. Half hour played, United lead by 1-0. Jack Fletcher bending one in from outside the penalty area, causing confusion in the box and went past everybody, including Cairns, who launches this ball upfield. Good run from Kokonki. Fletcher again. Left-footed effort deflected behind by Howard. Another United corner.
Lovely little touch from Chido Obi as well, right into the path of Jack Fletcher. And what I liked about it was that it really was a good flick, but he didn't stop and admire. He went again, just in case Jack Fletcher wanted to slide him in.
Corner for United. Rangy players inside the box. Joffrey lurking at the back post. It goes that way, gets the header in. It is just about kept off the line. The offside flag goes up against Tyler Fredrickson.
Yeah.
Another good ball into the box though, Ben.
It was. That's it's been a highlight of this half so far, the quality of delivery into the area.
Fredrickson clashing with Chambers. Well, chance maybe here for Obi. Lacey. Joffrey forward again. Good turn from Lacey. Down the right it comes to Jackson. Jackson's right-footed cross takes a big deflection, eventually loops up in the air and is collected by Cairns.
That was a miss hit, wasn't it? And I think it just comes off Ollie Pickles in the end. Don't think that was ever going to get given as a back pass.
Don't see them giving any more, do you?
Definitely not like that, because if he tried that another 99 times, he wouldn't get the same result.
Pickles back to Cairns. Obi again, just works really hard, closing down. Musa now applying the pressure on the goalkeeper. His left-footed clearance sends the crowd running for cover. Lady in the beige coat there went running. Actually, I think put herself in more danger by running to where she ran to. Managed to duck underneath it in the end. Fletcher wins the throw-in.
There certainly is a change of formation for Leeds in and out of possession. When United are attacking, Linu tends to drop into that back line. And when Leeds have the ball, he moves himself further up the park.
So we think it's a 3 in possession, do we?
No, I think it might be a 3 out of possession. I think he goes and joins Howard and Creswell in the back 3. And then he moves himself up when Leeds have got possession. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing here, with Lane and Philpott as the wider sort of wing backs.
Lacey. There's a foul on Shea Lacey. He pops back up again and gets away, but then he's impeded once more, and the advantage that the referee was playing can no longer be played. He's a tricky customer.
He is. He is. He's great to watch. I was saying to you, wasn't I, that I think this is the first time I've done a commentary where he's actually started a game. I know he's had a lot of sort of injuries over the course of this season, so I'm really happy to see him playing here.
Made his first team debut this season as well. Fletcher. Kokonki gets it back to Fletcher. That's brilliant from Kokonki. Fletcher's cross is a good one too. It's just too far ahead of Chido Obi. And that is a grateful catch from Alex Cairns.
Well, we mentioned in the first sort of 10 minutes or so that neither side had managed to find any rhythm. But ever since we actually came out with that comment, it's just been one-way traffic pretty much.
There is method to my madness, Ben.
Yeah.
Sometimes the curse of the commentator works for you. Vincent up against Kokonki, takes a deflection. We'll go behind for a Leeds corner.
Oh.
Not a Leeds corner.
Well, I mean, it was a Leeds corner, wasn't it? So
only a Leeds corner if the referee gives it.
That's very true, yeah.
Didn't on that occasion. Look for all the world like it had come off Kokonki.
Definitely. Anyway, you take them when you can get them.
Certainly.
Because undoubtedly you will get one that you do deserve that isn't given, so.
Ruby chasing this one down. It's a Manchester United throw-in. So Kokonki with the throw. Still waiting for this throw-in from United. Eventually it comes from Kokonki.
Well, in line of consistency, that's a shove in the back, and the referee's been giving those all game.
Not on that occasion.
No. And I'm not saying they should be, but he set a precedent early for giving, you know, nonsensical free kicks for things that happen in football matches all the time. But if that's the case, then continue to give them, and then at least both teams know where they stand.
Jack Fletcher. Fredrickson gets it back from Kokonki. Fredrickson in a really good spot here. One back by Morehouse. gaggle of players around the ball as it bounces left and right. Manchester United pushed high, and maybe an opportunity for Leeds to come the other way. That's a really clever ball down the left-hand side. Brilliant from Philpott to make the run. He's going to win his side the corner as well. Comes off Sonny Al-Joffrey and bounces behind. What a clever ball that is between the lines.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Really well found. But again, like we saw Chambers earlier in the half, he just overran it, Philpott. He takes one touch. Actually, he only took one touch, and it was all Sonny Al-Joffrey needed to intervene.
Ball in. Ends up at the feet of Pickles. Headed away by Kukonki. Lacey looking to make the challenge. Another comfortable header that from Kukonki. Musa back. Linu. Musa gets it away.
Stuck to his task.
Fletcher was trying to find Lacey. Just clips the heels of Morehouse. Got his head up really quickly, Jack Fletcher. Just the run of Jack Morehouse preventing that from getting through. Quick ball from Murdoch. Musa, good turn, pull of the shirt too. Referee though doesn't give the free kick.
I certainly thought the first one was a foul. Oh.
Yeah, Obi looking to nip in, but goalkeeper Cairns gets there first. I thought as Victor Musa turned down this left-hand side, there was a pull of the shirt.
Yeah. That's the way it seemed to me too.
I think you're right. I think sometimes the real frustration comes from a lack of consistency. Not necessarily getting decisions wrong, it's more not getting things that have been given in the 40 minutes prior.
Absolutely.
Leeds in a good spot here. Rush of blood to the head as that's fired over the bar.
Yeah, it was neither one nor the other. It was never going to trouble Will Murdoch. He knew it was going over. I don't think it was meant to be a shot. The body shape and the way that he kicked the ball, I think he was trying to sort of bend it into the path, but he just got it all wrong, Philpott.
Drills it over the bar rather than wrapping it into the penalty area. And Linu had to get there because Lacey was waiting for it. Lacey. Morehouse. Great run-in from Jack Morehouse, and that's through to Fletcher. Fletcher for his second!
Brilliant.
Jack Fletcher. Manchester United double their advantage. Morehouse the creator, Fletcher the finisher. Leeds 0, United 2.
Right, sort of quite fitting that we might end the half with somebody who's probably caught the eye more than anyone in Jack Fletcher. It's a lovely little ball between the lines from Shea Lacey. Another driving run from Morehouse, and his first touch in these conditions with the speed that he's running, Jack Fletcher, to take it out of his feet, and then with his second just to calmly stroke it past Alex Cairns. That's a brilliant goal. It really is a well-worked goal, and nothing more than both Manchester United and Jack Fletcher himself deserved. He's had an excellent half.
Enjoy most about that is the way that Jack Fletcher opens his body out. So as he's into the penalty area, he just opens out that left foot, and it allows him to send it further left than he would be able to otherwise. It's a lovely bit of body movement to open the goal up for him. It's a really good finish. 1 minute of time added on at the end of the first half. United will feel that's a good 45-minute performance, as long as they can keep things as they are. Leeds into the penalty area. Dangerous ball is cleared away by Fredrickson. United back in defending in numbers here. Oh, it's a great challenge from Chido Obi inside the centre circle. How high up the field is Cairns to deal with that situation? Caught in possession. Lovely tackle from Chido Obi. Intercepted again. That will be it for the first 45 minutes, and Manchester United with an excellent first half performance lead Leeds United by 2-0. Both of those goals coming from Jack Fletcher. First one from the right-hand side, bent in past everybody. The second one, a lovely run from Morehouse, laid into the path of Fletcher, who opened his body out and finished low into the bottom left-hand corner. Half-time at Thorpe Arch Grange. Leeds United 0, Manchester United 2. I think the character being shown by this Manchester United side at the moment is everything, isn't it? Even when it looks like you might not get a result, you might not get a point, you keep fighting to the 93rd, 94th, 95th minute to try and find a way through, and it keeps happening for you. It's great.
Yeah, I think your mindset is now like we want to win every games. We want to do something. We want to give something to the fans. We want to fight for yourself. So we are trying to do the best every time we can. And yeah, I think we are in good moments. Now we have to keep going like this until of the season, and I think we can do something better this season.
And we're winning games very often, last-minute winners, and you know all about those. I mean, those moments are absolutely incredible at Old Trafford. I don't need to tell you that. What does it feel like as a player in that moment?
No, I think scoring last-minute goal, and especially when you win, when you score last-minute goal and you win, you feel really good. You feel better, not especially you, but for everyone, for yourself, but especially for the fans, because they will enjoy it. So I think, like I say, we have to keep going. We have to keep this moment, the spirit, and we have to keep going like this.
I think the spirit's very interesting because the squad seems very together at the moment, and you're kind of a central part of that, aren't you? You are a bit of a character in the dressing room. You like to have fun with the other players. Is that a role that you do naturally, or is it something that you've taken on?
No, I think it's naturally from me. I've been like this for long. Even when I wasn't at Manchester United, even when I was in Italy, I was like this. So I'm trying to give that vibes, that energy to the team. So I think that's part of me. Is good sometimes to help the team because maybe sometimes when they are down. So to keep that energy, to say, guys, we have to keep going. We are not in bad moments, we are in good moments. So I'm trying to give my vibes, my good energy to the rest of the team.
Long throw into the penalty area is headed away by Voltemada, met by Patrick Dorgu. Oh, it's a screamer! What a way to score your first ever Manchester United goal! Patrick Dorgu on the volley from the edge of the 18-yard box gives United the lead. It's picture perfect on Boxing Day. Manchester United 1, Newcastle United 0. Welcome back then. Thorpe Arch Grange and Manchester United lead Leeds United by 2-0. Jack Fletcher at the double. And Manchester United have been well worth it. Look at those shots and shots on target. Although Leeds may have had slightly more possession, Ben, Manchester United have done more with the ball when they've had it.
That is very surprising, actually. It didn't seem like that in the game, certainly after it settled after 10 minutes. But yes, you're right, United have done more, hence the scoreline.
Yeah, 13 fouls as well in the opening 45 minutes. That's more than we're used to seeing. The referee has been involved, shall we say, in the first 45 minutes.
A little bit too much sometimes. I think there are a couple of occasions that we expected him to pull it up and it didn't, but a lot of the times that he could have let go, he's pulled up for needless free kicks, really, that have stopped the flow and the rhythm of the game.
Yeah, Manchester United could quite easily have had 3 goals. All 3 shots on target were good ones, and unfortunately, the third one of 3 was saved by Alex Cairns. Let's take a look at how the first half went. First opportunity, and this comes all the way through from Jack Fletcher, and I just wonder whether the goalkeeper's just not anticipating it.
Well, he's not. What he's anticipating is somebody getting a touch, but Jack Fletcher has done exactly the right thing. If you whip a ball in when you've got the wind up your back like that, it can be very, very difficult, and if it's on target, the likelihood is it will bamboozle the goalkeeper, which is exactly what happened.
Manchester United wind assisted in the first 45 minutes, so that one helped towards goal. Done brilliantly. This ball played through fantastically from Fletcher as he's looking for Obi, and Obi gets it out from underneath his feet, takes the shot on early, and that is the save from Cairns that prevents it being 3.
Yeah, it's a really good ball and a good touch from Chido Obi. Just allows him that little bit of extra space. Creswell can't get close to him, and he gets down well to his right-hand side, Alex Cairns.
He knows, doesn't he, Chido Obi? As soon as he takes that first touch, he's only got eyes for where the goalkeeper is. This was a chance for Sonny Al-Joffrey, whipped in by the other Fletcher brother, and Sonny Al-Joffrey inside the 6-yard box, can't get his header on target.
Yeah, maybe there was a case that the wind just didn't allow the ball to drop enough for him to get over it and head it down, but it's a great ball into the box nevertheless.
It really is. And then came the second goal just before the break, and this is brilliant from Morehouse as he turns and drives towards goal, slips the pass in fantastically, lovely touch, better finish.
Yeah, from the outstanding player on the park in the first half. He scored 2 goals. It's a great little ball threaded through to Jack Morehouse, who goes on one of his trademark driving runs, and then the first touch from Jack Fletcher, and then to open his body out, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he executed it perfectly, and a great way to end the half.
Yeah, it's a really good finish, isn't it, from Jack Fletcher, and as you say, Ben, has been standout over the course of the first 45 minutes. Hopefully we'll see even more from him as we go through the second 45 minutes. Surprisingly, only his 4th goal of the season, Jack Fletcher. Yeah, now that's because I know where I'm going next. Ben's punching the air because a rare error has just occurred. In fact, he's dancing alongside me. Whilst he's enjoying himself, I'm going to let you... watch me call him Jack Lawrence again now, when it's actually Adam Lawrence, the league coach for the under-21s, looking ahead to a couple of big games for this group.
So Adam, United's under-21s are set to face Real Madrid at Old Trafford in a quarter-final tie for the PL International Cup. How ready is this team for that challenge?
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a great occasion, you know, for us to play in an international competition, obviously with a club of Real Madrid stature, is an amazing one for the players, you know. So it's one that they've obviously been really looking forward to as soon as the draw came out. We've got a game Friday, obviously, before that the following Tuesday. But yeah, ultimately we want to give a real good performance on the night individually and collectively. And the aim is to obviously progress in the tournament. So I'm really excited about the game.
And this has been a rewarding journey so far for the team, with wins over Dortmund, a hard-fought result against Sporting as well. What have the players learned from these experiences that they can take into this game?
Yeah, I think when you look at the programme, we want to expose our players to the biggest competitions and some of the best academies across Europe. And that's obviously what they've been able to do, you know. So when we look at these types of oppositions and the different challenges that the different games give you, it's fantastic. And I think sometimes when the domestic programme is really, really good, but you're obviously playing against the same teams and mostly the same players each year, what this competition, it gives you a bigger scope in terms of what the rest of Europe looks like in terms of the level, and then the different challenges that the players face. So they're definitely the type of games that the players look forward to playing in most, and testing themselves against them top academies and big clubs across the world, really.
And there's no denying that this fixture comes after a really busy period for the under-21s. This group are on the cusp of senior football, balancing league games, cup competitions and development. So how valuable is this going to be for their progression?
Yeah, massively. I think even just across the PDP 18s, 21s at the moment, as you say, getting to the latter stages of competitions, challenging for things. Each game they play has got something on it. So we feel that in the bigger scheme of things and for the players' journey and for their futures, it's really, really good. So credit to them for getting themselves to this stage in terms of being able to go into these games with, a bit of pressure or the excitement feeling in terms of going into that type of game, and it's only going to help them. And listen, ultimately, what we want them to do is raise to that, embrace it, and perform on the biggest stage.
And this group is competing near the top of the PL2 table. And while development is key, winning clearly helps this group too. So how much work goes on behind the scenes to maintain that level and more so the mentality of these players?
Yeah, I think ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to develop to win. So, in terms of it's not development versus winning, but when you put an emphasis on the process of winning and improving players and working with them over a period of time, and them embracing that, then obviously if everybody gets better, then you can get to a good level, and then you're performing to obviously win. So again, that has been a clear focus, in my whole time at the club, in terms of you're supporting each individual and the groups that you work with to perform, and ultimately the boys they're competitive, they want to win as well. And then it's obviously then just the way that we go around that. But fantastic for the academy, the club, to be going right to the latter stages of these competitions and really testing yourselves against the top teams.
And you've mentioned it just there, but we hear from you after the games, after the MUTV coverage, and you always mention about this group sticking to the process, working on those finer details, and you can see the elements of Manchester United's DNA showing in these performances. For you, do you feel that never-giving mentality is within this group?
Listen, it's in the DNA of the club, so hopefully people see that. Essentially what you're trying to do is each time a fan sees one of the Man United teams play, they should see them golden threads or consistencies in the things that they see, regardless of, the age or the stage of where the players are at. So listen, the players are really, really proud to represent the club. They feel the fans' support, every time they're playing the game, whether that's at Lee, Old Trafford or an away fixture. And hopefully, in terms of that never say die attitude or that winning mentality, that shines out within the group as well. And it's a busy couple of weeks that we've got ahead. We've got 2 games in the Premier League 2, obviously the quarterfinals of the International Cup. So it's a great couple of weeks to look forward to for the players.
Adam Lawrence talking to MUTV, and really interesting what he said there about developing to win, where winning isn't necessarily the be-all and end-all. Development is key, but once you develop players to a good level and continue their development, then of course they're going to be competing to win. And although winning doesn't come first, it is part of the development, and that's quite an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because ultimately, as a professional footballer, that is what you come into the sport to do, is to win. There isn't anybody that would come into this sport and say, oh, I'm happy to finish 3rd and 4th. And Manchester United, has been a leading candidate for many, many, many years with producing young players, and not just producing young players, but producing young players that will play for the first team and go on and win things for the first team. And if not here, then, elsewhere. So I thought he spoke extremely well about the pathways and the development of these players, and they've had a really, really good season at both 18 and 21 level. And the good thing is that we're in April and it's not over yet.
Certainly isn't, in both the 18s and the 21s, with loads still to play for. So Essentially, how PL2 works from here is that the top 16 go into the postseason playoffs. The top 16 will also play in the Premier League International Cup next season. The playoffs are 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15, 3 versus 14, etc., etc. There's a round of 16.
What are the rest?
No, don't make me say them all. That's why I used etc. Just so I didn't have to say all of them. And then round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, all of which are standalone one-leg knockout games. So we will see how that goes. Also, if you are Leeds United, there is still a little bit to play for at the bottom of the table, because the positions from 17th to 24th also have a postseason playoff, but their postseason playoff will be against the top 8 teams from the Professional Development League, which is the one just underneath PL2 for those academies. So they'll be clearly wanting to get something out from the end of the season, Leeds, so they can play in that competition as well. And then, of course, Manchester United under-21s have got the game against Real Madrid, which you heard Adam Lawrence talking about. And then the 18s have got a couple of really big fixtures, haven't they, against Crystal Palace. So we shall wait and see how they get on in both the League Cup final and the FA Youth Cup semi-final against Crystal Palace. So we shall see what happens there. But Manchester United's academy thriving and turning out some good players as well. And I think the other big testament, Ben, for the academy is how many players are out on loan, how many players are, learning their trade at football league clubs now, and how many have already done that this season. And it's a real credit to what the United academy are achieving.
Yeah, and they do it season in, season out, and season in, season out. There are queues of clubs like, sort of holding their arms out, wanting to take these players and not just to improve them, but to improve their team as well, because undoubtedly, they still produce the best youngsters. Where both teams are in the table, where our under-18s are in the FA Youth Cup, it highlights how well they are coached and how much they listen.
Well, that is Daniel Armour stripped and ready for Manchester United. Maybe Jackson comes out too. Sonny Al-Joffrey. I wonder whether Dan Armour is maybe a replacement for Tyler Fredrickson, who I haven't seen appear from the right-hand side just yet. That's 2 Fletchers and a Godwill Kakonki. So yeah, maybe that will be the swap. We will wait and see what that substitution is confirmed as, but at the moment it looks like it might be Dan Armour for Tyler Fredrickson. So we will just hold fire on that one. United played really well in the first 45 minutes. They've got a bit of a different challenge in the second half, namely because they stopped being wind assisted and now they're playing into the wind. And how much of an impact will that have?
It depends how they go about playing the game. I mean, I would say that the emphasis is more on Leeds, because they now need to be able to control their balls going forward. It doesn't take much if you're going to try and play 40, 50-yard balls over the top, and especially with Will Murdoch's starting position, it's going to be very, very difficult for them. They have now to play the conditions, which United, I thought, did really well, especially from the deliveries into the box. They got them spot on. It won't be easy. It never is. But they do also have the 2-goal cushion to be able to not defend, because they'll want to go and score more goals, but they have those 2 goals. Leeds will, be the ones that the emphasis is on to try and get the ball forward.
Confirmation of that change. It is Tyler Fredrickson who makes way, and Fredrickson has been replaced by Dan Armour. And Dan has played so many games this season, both for 18s and 21s. He's been really busy over the course of the season, and very capable as well. Will be the one, as we go through this half, that plays the ball out from the back. So you'll see him carry the ball out before starting any move off for Manchester United. It's going to be Chido Obi to get us underway in the second half. Referee ready as we wait for the whistle.
It was a long half time, that.
That has been a feature as well. We are underway in the second half as Chido Obi gets us started in the second period at Thorpe Arch Grange, with Manchester United leading Leeds United by 2-0. We had a half-time in the under-18s the other week that stretched to over 20 minutes. which is bananas, really. But
Well, I don't think that was far short, considering there was only 1 minute added at the end of the first half.
United, having made the change at half-time, now defending into the wind. As Godwill Kokonki picks that up ahead of Vincent. Armour, first time ball out to Kokonki. Opportunity to stretch those legs. Obi gets there, cross from Fletcher. Morehouse, on to Jackson. Jackson can't find Lacey. Would imagine, oh, we've got a couple of lead substitutions as well. Chambers and Howard for Alka and Mills. United having to defend this move forward. That's a good ball into the penalty area. Offside flag goes up. Well, Leeds obviously chasing something from the game. Know that they've got to make a change. United, I would imagine, will play. You'll see more balls on the floor from United as we go through this second half, just to try and negate that wind ever so slightly.
That's the advice I would give.
As I say that, big thumping ball forward. What do I know, eh?
But no, you're absolutely right, though. I think the encouragement from Adam Lawrence will be to try and keep the ball on the floor.
Musa back to Armour. Armour dispossessed by Alka. Back to Cairns. Forward to Crew.
And that's the problem that Leeds will have, is in their urgency to try and get the ball forward. They will overhit passes with this wind that's now up their backs.
I think that's the right ball for Manchester United, the one on the floor into the channels. I mean, again, Leeds trying to get the ball moving forward quickly. It's good pressure from Obi. It's good football though from Lino. Given away to Kokonki. Kokonki just bursting through midfield. Such a powerful runner. Found Victor Musa as well. Musa crowded out of that. But United do have a throw-in. As Ben pointed out in the first half, when you can get Godwill Kokonki moving like that, he is a weapon with his running ability.
He didn't really get the opportunity to do it in the first half, mainly because United moved the ball so well in other areas. But when he does have grass to run into and he can open those legs, he is very, very difficult to stop.
It's a free kick won by Chido Obi. Feels the contact, goes down. And again, two Fletcher brothers standing over this resulting free kick. I can only imagine that it will be the right foot of Tyler over the left foot of Jack, though Shea Lacey may well fancy a little pop at this one as well. All three very capable in those situations.
Is this going to be a shot? Obviously Leeds United think it may be with the wall in place.
I think it will be.
Yeah, judging by the way they're lining up. Unless it's a very, very good disguise.
I go left foot of Lacey. It is the left foot of Shea Lacey. Oh! It is not in. Just for a moment wondered whether that had crept in the bottom left-hand corner. It is only just wide.
Yeah. Well, if you are going to shoot from there, he did well to keep it low round the wall.
Linu knocks that out of play for a throw-in. Good turn from Lacey. Jackson back to Shea Lacey, who wriggles free of the challenge again. Lacey with an awful lot of time to decide what to do in that situation. Well, that's one back by Leeds, dangerous position. Needs a big challenge here. Oh, it's ricocheted off the post. Leeds very nearly back into it, but Manchester United rescued by the woodwork.
Well, I mean, they should be back into it.
And Musa clatters it against the Leeds player. It's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's the first mistake, really, that has been made, and Tyler Fletcher just gets caught. And it was a clever little flick round the corner, actually, to create the chance, but once the goal opened up in front, he had enough to be able to have found the bottom corner, but United survive.
Maybe just a little rush of blood from the head. Try to hit that a bit too hard in that situation. You want to make absolutely certain of it, and in so doing, just push the shot ever so slightly. Ricochets off the woodwork. Obi floats one to Lacey. Positive first touch from Lacey. I don't know what the winger saw there, but goalkeeper collects.
Well, that's certainly the best chance that Leeds have, I was going to say Leeds have mustered. It was more that we sort of gifted it to them. Just a momentary lapse, but they've survived.
Sliding challenge from Ollie Pickles there, doesn't get any of the ball. Maybe a little fortunate that free kick hasn't been given against him. United potentially breaking here. Obi in a foot race. Oh, he's done really well. Chido Obi into the penalty area. Gets one in the face. Goes to ground. The referee unmoved. I'm not quite sure why Chido Obi would go down there if there hadn't been some contact. I'm sure we'll take another look at that in a moment as the stabbed challenge comes in from Louis Jackson.
Well, Obi caught him out, didn't he? Down this right touchline.
Maybe an accidental collision. Definitely contact there. Leeds looking to work the ball into the box. It's well blocked by Kukonki. Leeds certainly giving the second half a bit of a tilt, aren't they? Good tackle from Fletcher on his opposite number, Ollie Pickles. It's very much like it was in the opening stages of the first half, where two sides just fighting for control of the game. It's well done from Kukonki.
Yeah, really good. Worked himself out of a tight area.
Al Joffrey finds Morehouse. Dangerous this for Manchester United. Morehouse just runs into traffic. Lacey takes over. Taken away from him. United are so quick on the counter like that, aren't they? And having the explosive running of Jack Morehouse is proving problematic for Leeds United.
Yeah.
Charlie Crew. Mills. Lifted away. Fletcher. Fletcher and Pickles fighting for it again. Jack Fletcher wins that battle. And again. Somebody might need to give Ollie Pickles a ticket back into the ground. Turned him into next week there, Ben. Back to Murdoch. United just taking the sting out of the game here. Armour. Yeah, that's a free kick again. And Obi just proving problematic for Cresswell, who's trying to get a grips with the Dane. And overstepping it.
He is.
Physical character, Chido Obi. And as he gets a little older, we're starting to see the capability that he's got of using that frame.
There's no point in the opposition trying to wrestle him either.
Oh, dearie me, that's a little bit late as well. Kukonki clattered.
Surprised that there wasn't a card produced there, I have to say. He was just as late as Sonny El Joffrey was in the first half.
Only difference, I suppose, between those two tackles, and playing devil's advocate slightly, is that
He was free.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. Chambers was through.
that's a good ball forward towards Jack Fletcher. Again, quick off his line, Alex Cairns. Sprightly for a 33-year-old. Obi. Can't quite get there. Big booming voice of Adam Lawrence from the technical area. Linu gets away from a couple. Picks out Philpott. Alka. Back down the line to Mills. If anything happens in that left-hand corner, we are in trouble.
Yes.
Camera angle not quite covering that one.
No.
Crew. Cross to Linu. That's a good turn from Crew, because Fletcher very nearly getting there. That's a lovely interception from Fletcher. Morehouse looks to get it away, finds only Harvey Vincent. Vincent's effort well over the bar.
He was ambitious. You can understand, though, why he took it on, because he's wind assisted from the edge of the box. I think there was a slightly better option to his right-hand side, but he opted to take the shot on.
Just look at the corner flag. It is whipping around the wind here at Thorpe Arch Grange. That one held up in the wind too, didn't it, from Murdoch, and that's what's given Leeds this platform. Morehouse accelerates away and just overruns it. Open game in the middle of the field at the minute. Philpott. Infield to Chadwick. Chadwick's effort, well watched by Will Murdoch. He just uses his feet, Gets himself over there, dives on top of it.
Yeah, it was a routine save for a keeper like Will Murdoch.
Murdoch again. Chadwick just standing off, not putting anybody under pressure until he decides it's the right time.
I just saw him stretching the back of his hamstring there, so whether he's got a bit of an issue, Reece Chadwick, we'll wait and see.
Linu. It's a good flick round the corner from Mills. Philpott. Back it comes to Linu. Changes being readied by Manchester United and Leeds United. We're going to have a couple of changes. Those changes are going to happen now. 2 for Leeds United. Oh, sorry, 1 for Leeds, 1 for United. So the first one on is Louis Dudley to replace Freddie Lane. And the Manchester United change, we'll see Lacey make way and Finn McAllister onto the field. That will be a bit of a reshuffle for the Reds. Try and figure out where everybody's going to move to. But potentially Morehouse will move out wide, Tyler Fletcher will move up, and Finn McAllister will sit just in front of the back four. Actually a little bit more involved than that. More on that in a second as Kokonki comes back in and makes the challenge. Oh, Joffrey clears. Morehouse has gone wide left. Musa has come wide right. McAllister is just in front of the back four. And the 2 Fletchers in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
More of a 4-1-4-1 now for United. Can't be kept in by Vincent. Can have another change here potentially. It's going to be Njinko onto the field, but I think we're just waiting to see whether Reece Chadwick is okay. Ben spotted this a couple of moments ago, said that he thought that there might potentially be a problem. So we're waiting to see whether he's able to continue before the decision is made of who's coming off. It is Reece Chadwick who makes way. So unable to continue, and Carrick and Njinko onto the field to replace him. And Leeds taking the opportunity to get some instructions. So too Manchester United. We get to this stage in the game, 64, 65 minutes, and the substitutions get made. The game can occasionally just take a little bit of time to get back going again, whilst new introductions find their feet on the field of play, Ben.
Yeah, and Leeds have, well, they've used all theirs now, haven't they? Well, the goalkeeper.
United still with some options. James Overy, Samuel Lasale. Should Adam Lawrence decide to go there? Well, so far so good for Adam Lawrence's side. The way that this would end up, they would put themselves level on points with top of the table Chelsea, and they'll have reduced the goal difference to 8 or 9. Depending on how next week goes, of course, United could end up finding themselves finishing the regular season top of the table.
Well, Chelsea have got a tough game at Fulham, and we take on Newcastle. Be nice for them to finish the regular season top of the pile, but it won't be the end of the world if they only manage to get there on goal difference in second. Still represents a fabulous campaign that continues.
On two fronts still. It's a clever reverse into the area for Njinko, who has gone too early, and the offside flag is up against him. So yeah, Chelsea's game against Fulham. Fulham in 5th in the PL2 table. Have been good at points this season. Will definitely give Chelsea a game. Manchester United face a Newcastle United side that have not necessarily been as good as they have been in previous seasons. Struggling down in the 20s. Only won 5 games all season. So United will be looking at that and hoping that they can put on a performance to go on and win it. Got to get this one done first, though, and that is a fantastic finish. What a rocket from the edge of the penalty area to cut the advantage to 1. A left foot laser beam. Leeds 1, Manchester United 2.
Well, it's a terrific strike from Louis Philpott. I mean, we saw one in the first half, didn't we, when it sort of sailed over the bar. But this was very, very deliberate. This was a strike on goal. This wasn't a cross. And with the wind, it would have made it very, very difficult. And he just moves it onto his left foot. And you can see by the way he strikes it, no chance for Will Murdoch, in off the far post. And yeah, a very good goal, has to be said.
Swerve on that as he's hit it as well. Comes from right to left. Almost bends it around the dive of Will Murdoch off the inside of the post, and it's 2-1. Goal of the highest quality, really. Offside flag against Philpott on that occasion. Free kick taking a while to be sent up the field. Eventually it comes from Al Joffrey to Jackson. Good pass from Musa.
Caught.
He's clearly caught. Referee is playing advantage. Fletcher looking to get that ball back to Louis Jackson, who continued his run from right back all the way into the penalty area.
That was an important interception back to the goalkeeper.
Certainly not far away either from Jack Fletcher of finding its intended target. Al Joffrey to Jackson. McAllister. Armour. Kokonki. Turns and goes again. Kokonki is caught by Linu, and that will be a free kick, although the referee just hold on for a second, didn't he? But I think the right decision has been reached. Jack Morehouse is about to make way for Manchester United, and we are going to see the introduction of Samuel Lasale. And that might just rebalance things ever so slightly. So Lasale will play off the left, Musa off the right. McAllister at the base with the two Fletcher twins just ahead of him in a 4-3-3, and that returns Manchester United to the shape that they started the game with. What can they do from this set piece? Dan Armour, tall inside the penalty area. Chido-Obi as well. The speed of Kokonki required from a defensive point of view, which is why you can see him outside the penalty area. Left-footed cross, hoisted away by Vincent. Could have gone anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah. Just bounced in front of him, but he got enough of a contact on it to steer it for a corner before it went any further.
As it is, when that finally comes down from wherever he sent it to, somebody's going to have to watch out for the windows in the back garden. Short one. Fletcher to Fletcher to Fletcher, and back to Fletcher. Jack tries to work his way into the area, and it flicks off the defender and out for another corner.
I think this one will probably come in.
This one again from the left. Leeds penned in at the minute. Manchester United not letting them out. Consecutive set pieces. It is in, and it is away, and it is another set piece. Third consecutive corner.
He'll be looking to try and beat Linu, who's stationed at that near post area.
Another good delivery.
Oh.
Flicked on. As it's hoisted back in by Chido-Obi. It's wide of everybody, and out of play, and this one will be a goal kick.
Well, he was lucky there. First one he cleared away, but the second one he only managed to sort of flick into a dangerous area. Fortunately, he had one of his teammates to help him out. But they have given Manchester United a little moment's thought process here now. They've pulled that goal back.
Yeah, they're in behind again here, Leeds as well. Linu gets it in, and Kokonki helps it behind. Well, that was another good opportunity, wasn't it, from the home side? They whipped the ball in from the left. Had to be dealt with, and was by Godwill Kokonki.
Yeah, he did well. Didn't switch off at that far post.
Well, Vincent was waiting for it. Linu with the corner. Hoisted. Half cleared. Shot comes back in. Oh, Joffrey strides across and deflects it behind.
Yeah, this is where you need to switch on now. Good header. And a good contact with the volley coming back in. But United stood strong.
Linu again. Deeper this time. Headed back across though. Volleyed wide. Goal kick.
Very deep corner. It's always, well, it's not always, but more often than not, it's the second phase from anything like that that is the real issue. But United were switched on yet again.
We'll have to stay switched on for another 15 minutes here, United, unless they can find another way in behind. Ken's taking no chances there. Fletcher does well. Just gets his body in the way, helps that out for a throw-in. McAllister wrestling. I hope he's going to get there. Still got it here, Chido-Obi. Oh, that's a lovely turn. Still going. Chido-Obi. Oh, it's just wide.
He's got a corner out of it. Really good close control.
I don't know how he kept hold of the ball.
No.
So another corner for Manchester United. What can they do with this one? Well, delivery hits the man at the near post. Doesn't get past him. In fact, just outside the penalty area. Deflects out of play for a throw. Throwing comes in, and now United looking to use it again. Armour. Out to Lasale. This time we've seen Samuel Lasale able to have a bit of a run as the ball stolen away. It's a good tackle from Louis Jackson. Finds Lasale again. Leeds looking to run this clear. Obi comes across. Looks to steal that back. Should be a United throw-in, really.
I thought so as well.
I think that's come off the heel of Jadon Linu. Referee and assistant think otherwise. Leeds have got 13 minutes to try and find themselves an equaliser. United, well, having to do their fair share of defending here. I think knowing the way that this United side play, their best form of defence of this one-goal advantage is to go up the other end and get another one.
Yeah, let's go and attack.
Which is how they have gone about it in previous games. There will be more than one chance left here for United in the game. Leeds play it back to Cairns. Under a little bit of pressure from Lasale. Manages to get the clearance away. Sunshine shows its face. Nice Yorkshire. It's actually not that cold in the sun. It's just, we're not seeing enough of it at the moment. See, it's gone in again. Be freezing again now. Back out, warm again. Louis Jackson stretching, can't get there. It's hard fought at the minute, Ben.
It is. It's a little bit scrappy.
Chance maybe for Fletcher, looks to pull it back for Obi. Just a bit behind him, wasn't it? To jam the brakes on, get it in reverse. Leeds braking. Armour chasing back. Vincent just, I think, undecided as to what to do with it, really. And that allowed United back in to steal it away.
Yeah, it's good covering from Tyler Fletcher. He's come away with it again now.
Maybe another break on. Fletcher. Victor Musa. Musa finds some space. Shot is blocked. Break in the opposite direction. Bit of a basketball game has broken out here, one end to the other.
Yeah. No support there, though.
Ooh. Mills tries to thread that through the gap. Into the final 10 minutes. Alfie Cresswell. Charlie Crew. Back to Cresswell. Philpott. Linu. Cresswell stayed on side here. Looks to get the cross in, fires it into the 6-yard box, and then header on goal from Njinko is saved well by Murdoch.
Yeah, he carried on his run forward, Cresswell, didn't he? He's not unaccustomed to being in that area of the field. And he absolutely drilled his cross from close range into the 6-yard box. Couldn't get any power on the header from the deflection.
Alka to Pickles. Obi, yeah, thinks that he might have a sniff at this one. Just bypasses him. That one, yeah, just holds up, and Dan Armour has no option really but to hammer it away for the throw-in.
No, it's amazing that it did hold up. He's made the right decision as well. Rather than going back to Will Murdoch with 2 players closing him down, just clear your lines and then reset.
McAllister looks to get touch tight. Ball back to Pickles. His cross sails over the bar. That is the wind again, just playing havoc with your measurements. You think you've got the weighting of a cross just right, and then all of a sudden it takes a flyer and ends up behind for a goal kick.
It was a difficult ball anyway. Especially when you have the obstacle of Goodwill Kukonki to try and bypass. But he got it all wrong on that occasion.
Armour. Oh, well, the referee is giving that against Chido Obi.
Something else that he really could let go.
6 and 2 threes.
Yeah.
Another cross, cleared away again by Armour. Been busy since he came on at
He has.
half-time.
Yeah, I think it is safe to say that Leeds have been more of a threat in this second half than they were in the entirety of the first.
Blocked by McAllister. Scythed clearance by Musa.
Yeah.
Tyler Fletcher.
I mean, it's still not much in it, but it was a little bit obvious with the 2 hands.
A yellow card has come out there for Jack Fletcher. I wonder whether... I don't think it's mistaken identity, but...
It was for dissent, I think. He had a quiet, or maybe not so quiet word in the referee's shell, like.
Second yellow card of the game. One for Sonny Al Joffrey, and that one there for Jack Fletcher. Long ball floated into the area, and again, it's the same outcome. It's behind for a Manchester United goal kick. Chido Obi is going to make way here. And Obi is going to be replaced by James Overy, the Australian international. That'll be another reshuffle, I would imagine.
Go on then.
I've no idea, Ben. Absolutely no idea. Other than James Overy will play in a wide position. Which wide position is anyone's guess. But I would imagine it will be Musa that moves into the centre forward position.
Yeah. Would make sense.
Which would play Overy right wing as opposed to right back. He can play both of those positions. Flicked on. Overeat getting involved early here. He's into the penalty area. Doesn't quite stick, does it, as he tries to get it back into the centre. Gets to the corner flag, though, and gets the pass away. Kukonki, Fletcher. Fletcher looks to force it into the box, takes a deflection behind Manchester United corner.
Yeah, this is where you need to start thinking now about keeping possession, especially in the opposition's half. Short corners, get plenty of players in and around the ball, make it difficult for Leeds.
Doesn't look like a short corner option is on here for Fletcher. So decide this one's going into the penalty area. Clearance falls, chance maybe for Musa to make the connection he needs to, and it is smashed clear. Conky doing a good blocking job for Will Murdoch.
I noticed that earlier. He's not really been involved much since he's been on, and Jinko, but he's lively, he is quick, and he needed to be on his guard there. Kukonki.
McAllister with the header on the edge of the 18-yard box, and the referee has bought whatever it is that Ollie Pickles is selling there. Might be the softest of the lot, that one, Ben. Your mum say that to you when you were a kid. If you ain't got anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that why you went quiet on me?
I will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think it might be for the best.
Leeds under pressure. Clearance by Cairns.
Great
Good
tackle
from Fletcher. Chance maybe for Lasale. He's dispossessed. First timer from Fletcher is cleared away. Out for a throw in. The referee just having a word there. Louis Dudley. Oh, lovely back heel. Jack Fletcher. Fletcher swings one in. Hoisted upwards. Over he can't get there. Headed behind will be a corner. What a lovely back heel that was to set Fletcher away down the left-hand side.
I'm wondering now whether it might be the time for short corners.
And we're hearing on the grapevine that there will potentially be 5 minutes added on at the end of the game. That, of course, could change. Short one. McAllister. Across to Al Joffrey.
Yeah, wise, don't take any risks.
Murdoch hoists one into the wind. Very nearly drops for Godwill Kukonki. Instead, it flicks off the head of the defender. United have got the territory back.
Yeah, this is where they want to be. And this is where all the good work on the training ground during the week comes in, where you're making sure that you're keeping hold of the ball.
It's curse of the commentator there.
It is, yeah.
Linu. Over, he gets himself back in. It is 5 minutes added on at the end of the second half. Manchester United still leading by 2-1. 5 minutes of concentration required. Linu comes back to Cresswell. Headed away, it was looking for Mills. Lasale allows that to run.
Oh.
Well, that's an odd decision as well, but United have to deal with it. Another floated ball into the box. Well, that's where the wind can catch you out, but it's good footwork from Will Murdoch to correct himself. I'm not saying there was a moment of worry in the commentary box, but there was a moment of worry in the commentary box. Lasale's trying to turn that infield, isn't he, to Musa, but just can't quite get there. Chased down by Alka. Field to Cresswell. Down the line to Vincent. Intercepted by McAllister.
Yeah, good tracking. That'll do.
McAllister, big Manchester United fan. Loves to go and watch the games as well as playing in them. Was the captain of that under-18 side that pretty much won everything in front of them a couple of seasons back. Influential character in this under-21s dressing room. Well, down the left is a good one to Philpott. Left-footed effort again from Philpott. Wow. That has just taken another flyer. It was arrowing towards the top right-hand corner, and then the swerve took it away from goal and behind.
Well, I think that was more akin to the one in the first half. I don't think, not taking anything away from the strike that he scored the goal with, because that was deliberate, but that was a cross. That wasn't meant to be a shot.
It also looked like it was a lot closer than it ended up being.
He was caught, yeah.
You heard it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Lasale gets himself back to his feet. The yellow card comes out. Louis Dudley goes in the book.
Any footballer will tell you that when you're playing on open pitches, the wind is just the worst conditions, especially when it's as strong as this is. But they've, credit to both teams, they've made it quite an entertaining game, more so in the first half.
Good close control this from Manchester United, and then Musa is caught. Yeah, 1 and 2 touch in that corner,
yeah,
really causing Leeds some problems. And now into the last 60 seconds and an opportunity from a dangerous position.
Yeah, but they're not going to turn it into anything else. Not with 40 seconds left on the clock. It'll just be a case of
give it to Finlay McAllister.
Just give it to 2, 3, 4 yards. Just make angles for each other, make it difficult for Leeds, frustrate them, and just see out these remaining seconds.
Here is the free kick. It's McAllister that takes it and then turns into a linebacker. Tries to give some protection to Victor Musa. As it goes again. Conky's throw. That will be a corner. And that'll be it, pretty much. Manchester United going to try and see this one all the way to its conclusion. Manage the game to a finish from this corner. Excellent performance from this Manchester United side. McAllister takes the corner, Referee brings the game to an end, and Manchester United take 3 points away from Thorpe Archgrange. 2 goals in the first half from Jack Fletcher. The deficit for Leeds halved in the second half by an excellent Louis Philpott strike, but brilliantly managed from Adam Lawrence's side. They go back joint top of the PL2 table with Chelsea with 1 match week left to go. Full time at Thorpe Archgrange. Leeds United 1, Manchester United 2. Ben, an excellent performance from this Manchester United side, not only attacking in the first half, but the way that they managed the game in the second.
Yeah, really good game, and in difficult conditions, and I thought they played extremely well, especially in the first half. Look, Jack Fletcher was the outstanding performer on the field, certainly in that first half, and they were deserved winners, despite a really good goal from Leeds. It makes next week very exciting.
Yeah, really exciting for Manchester United. Let's take a look at the goals. Well, this was the first one, and it's a really good finish from Jack Fletcher. Speculative maybe, but he gets the shot on target.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was more of a cross, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to make sure that ball was curled in towards that far post, and when that happens, especially with the wind up your back, it can really throw defenders and the goalkeeper, and that's exactly what it did. And he just gets it absolutely spot on.
Given an awful lot of time to do that. Set himself up and stroke the ball into the penalty area. Lacey gets the high five for the assist. Well, the next assister was Jack Morehouse, whose bursting run here as he gets on the end of the Shea Lacey pass sets everything up, and the run of Jack Fletcher brilliant as he opens himself out to finish.
Yeah, clever pass between the lines from Shea Lacey, and then what he's so good at, Jack Morehouse, is carrying the ball with purpose, and then there's a pass at the end of it. Great touch from Jack Fletcher, and he just opens his body out and calmly side foots it into the bottom right hand corner. It's a really good goal.
Excellent from Manchester United. That gave them a 2-0 advantage, and well, from that point onwards it was really about management. Leeds did have the final say in terms of goal scoring though, and this is a great finish from Louis Philpott.
Yeah, it is. It's a good strike. He had one in the first half that was definitely a cross that looked like it was going close, but that was a deliberate strike across Will Murdoch, and cutting across it like that, and with the outside, with the wind as well, it just went in off the post. No chance for the goalkeeper, but it wasn't enough.
No, really well hit from Louis Philpott, but as Ben says, not enough. And Manchester United managing the game to its conclusion really well. Solid defensive performance from Adam Lawrence's side in the second half to add to an excellent offensive performance in the first 45 minutes. Brilliant from Manchester United's under-21s. They go back joint top of the PL2 table with Chelsea. They've beaten Leeds United by 2-1.
Looking for Tevez. Now Nani. He unleashes one. Oh, what a goal! What a strike! Nani's first for Manchester United is a scorcher. And what about that for a celebration? Do not try that at home. United open their goal-scoring account at Old Trafford, and it's Nani. United 1, Spurs 0.